With the emergence of a legal and regulated cannabis industry, it's up to people like us to make sure this new industry positively impacts the community. This means acting as an environmental steward and following best environmental and social practices. It also includes preventing secondhand smoke exposure, cannabis access to anyone under age, and advocating against driving under the influence of cannabis. Other states that have legalized cannabis have seen an increase in accidental or overconsumption of cannabis edibles and driving under the influence of cannabis. We would like to avoid the same trends from emerging here. Know that driving under the influence doesn't just mean booze. Research shows that driving high has a serious impact on motor skills and reaction time, and a driver may not be able to properly control their driving. It is also illegal, and driving high can mean a DUI. Mixing cannabis with alcohol and then driving has proven to be even more dangerous than driving under the influence of alcohol alone, and you already know that driving drunk is extremely dangerous and potentially fatal. Edibles often look just like their enticing, child-tempting non-cannabis counterparts, but are dangerous to children and pets. To be safe, edibles should be locked up and out of sight. Since edibles need to be digested and processed in the liver before the THC enters the bloodstream, they take longer to be felt than smoking. This has led some people to think they aren't working, take more, and end up seriously ill. Remember, cannabis is for adults only, unless there is a strong medical necessity, because cannabis can have a big impact on a child's development. Since cannabis can impact memory, learning, attention, and motivation, it can also interfere with school and long-term goals. Also, if caught with cannabis, someone who is underage would be required to take drug education classes and counseling. As for secondhand smoke, it is illegal to smoke or use cannabis in public, just like alcohol. Many people do not enjoy the smell of cannabis, and cannabis smoke has many of the same toxins and chemicals as tobacco, and may also aggravate asthma. Bringing cannabis to schools or other areas with lots of children, like a playground, is also illegal. People over 21 may have up to an ounce, or 28 grams, of cannabis on their person and may grow up to 6 plants in a secured place on private property inside an opaque structure, meaning it is not visible to neighbors or people on the street who might be tempted to steal what's inside. These regulations promote collective public health and safety. They are examples of public health laws, just like wearing your seatbelt or taxing cigarettes and sodas. And given the continuing illegality of cannabis on the federal level and the struggle to integrate it into society, it is important to give the new cannabis industry a good start. The significant revenue from cannabis tax dollars can provide lots of good to people across California. It is up to all of us to keep cannabis cultivation and use safe and legal.